I love? I love when a brand creates a really bomb formula, right? Oh, so buttery, so creamy, blends like a dream, give it to me in every color. I will declare it a holy grail. And exactly that precise moment discontinues it. I want to tell you about the brands that have broken my heart and discontinued some of my favorite products, and also let you know what products have come to the rescue, so to speak, and replaced those products in my collection. Let's go. We've got to start with Armani, right? Armani and I have, how you say, a one-sided relationship. I offer endless love and affection and words of affirmation, and in return, Armani offers me heartbreak. Exhibit A, the Armani Lasting Silk. So this is the lesser known sister of the Armani Luminous silk, which is a cult classic. Although just quietly, I think I've always preferred Lasting Silk over Luminous silk. It has a much lighter texture. It just feels really fresh and lightweight on the skin. I think the exceptional thing about this foundation formula is that even though it's a long wearing formula, it didn't crack or separate as the day progressed. It remained really flexible on the skin and it moved with the skin. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken when they discontinued this one. The product that replaced Lasting Silk for me, the Armani My Armani To Go Essence In Foundation Cushion. Armani knows base products. They get complexion. Actually quite a similar product to the Lasting Silk. They've both got a sort of medium buildable coverage, and they just sit on the skin in such a beautiful way. I can't even articulate it. The only difference is obviously the Armani To Go has a different delivery system. It's a cushion compact, which serves me all right. And also the cushion is perhaps a touch dewier, but very similar. I am satisfied. I'm satisfied with this compromise. Another Armani foundation, actually, this is Armani Maestro Glow. Maestro Glow, it took me like 2 years to figure out how to say it. Everyone was telling me in the comment section, and the minute I learned how to pronounce the bloody name, it got discontinued. Like clockwork. This foundation is a real, look, it's an aesthetic, let me put it that way. It's so glossy that it's almost editorial. It's got that real high shine vibe, and I kind of understand that it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but in particular, I really enjoyed mixing this foundation into any other foundation. It appeared to improve every other formula I own. It would just add a little bit of a glossy undertone that I like in my base makeup. To be fair, I haven't really discovered a perfect substitute. The products that kind of slipped into my collection and filled that void, so to speak, the Dermalogica Phyto Replenish oil. So obviously this is not a foundation, but I would mix a few drops of this into any other foundation and it would give me almost the same effect as if I was mixing with the Maestro Glow. It would make the foundation a little bit more pliable, a little bit more lightweight, a little bit more dewy. And then the second product that is very similar to Maestro Glow is the VDL Air Fluid Foundation Glow. This is a K-Beauty product and they have a similar delivery system. They're both luminous, although I will say the Maestro Glow is glossy, whereas the VDL is more dewy. I have a question for Charlotte Tilbury. If you're watching, Charlotte, how could you do this to me? The Retoucher. The Retoucher concealer, such a bomb formula. So this was a clicky style concealer and it had wonderful illuminating properties, but also it had a good amount of coverage. And I recall in my Charlotte Tilbury brand overview video, I'll link that on the screen, I said that this was kind of my no-brainer concealer. If I ran out of bed and I was rushing late and I just needed a little bit of something, I would grab this concealer and blend it out with my fingers. It was just such a hard-working, versatile formula. I think Charlotte replaced it, or the concealer that she released next is the Magic Away. I don't know. I love Charlotte Tilbury, but this was just not my favorite concealer. This one had a spongy applicator. And it always looks kind of cakey under my eyes, so that certainly didn't replace the Retoucher in my books. The concealers that I tend to use now, my brainless concealers, are the Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. This is a new one to me, but it's got a good medium coverage, a good dewy finish, and it's another one that you can just sort of swipe on, blend out with your fingers, and you're good to go. Really easy. And then also the Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer. This is another one that I find it's just foolproof. Just swipe it on, blend it out, no fuss. Love both of those. The Too Faced Peach My Cheeks Cream Blushes. Oh my gosh, I felt like these came and went in 10 seconds flat. I barely got a chance to repurchase them. It's such a brilliant blush formula. It's quite silicone heavy, a cream to powder finish, so to speak. It looks like a cream, it feels like a cream, but it can actually be applied with a brush, like a powder, and it's got that sort of velvety finish that doesn't tend to move around throughout the day. And then the product that replaced the Too Faced blush for me is the By Terry Glow Expert Duo Sticks. So these are By Terry's cream blushes, and if you can see, on one half of the stick there is a highlight, and on the other half there is a blush. And again, this has a very like silicone heavy formula. It feels like a primer between the fingertips, and that means that you can apply it with fingers, you can apply it with a brush. It literally blends out in 3 seconds flat, and you get that gorgeous translucent peachy glow that I always want. Yeah, By Terry, she knows what she's doing. Those of you who have been watching my channel for a while will remember the Soap & Glory Glow All Out powder. It's a satiny highlight powder, not a blinding highlight, more of a subtle glow, and it had a slight pinky peach hue. And I love to apply this over sort of all the high points, and it would give the face a little bit more saturation, kind of like you've been out in the cold, you know? And the products that I tend to use in lieu of this are the MAC Fairly Precious. This is the Extra Dimension blush. And like the Soap & Glory Glow All Out, it's both luminous and it has a little bit of a pinky rose hue, which is great for warming up any area of the face, really. I will say the MAC Extra Dimension blush formula is more metallic, whereas the Soap & Glory is a little bit more of a satin. It's a bit more of a subdued luminosity. If I wanted something that was a little bit more satin to disperse over the larger area of the face, then I would probably be going something like the Hourglass Luminous Light. I reach for this a lot. With a really big brush over larger areas of the face, it gives a similar effect. Oh, I feel really nostalgic right now, you guys. The Chanel Illusion d'Ombre. Look, I've heard mixed things. In some countries, there's a few shades available. In others, they've been replaced by the Illusion Premier eyeshadows. But the Illusion d'Ombre eyeshadows by Chanel like hold such a special place in my heart. I collected all of the shades. I like hunted them down. I called stores. I was just so into these eyeshadows. So it's a sparkly, nuanced, multicolor eyeshadow that has a moussey texture. And you can just swipe it on with your fingers and it would give the eye this beautiful shine and dimension. Thankfully though, there are a lot of other products on the market like it. I would describe this as a sparkly top coat sort of product. So some of my other favorite sparkly eyeshadow pots, let me put down this tissue. Hourglass Scattered Light Glitter Eyeshadows. These again have a very similar formula in that they're almost mousse-like. There's a little bit of like emollients almost between the fingertips. It's a little bit slippery, and these have incredible nuanced multicolored glimmers that sort of change as the eye moves. They are stunning. I've spoken a lot about the Hourglass Scattered Light eyeshadows. You guys are probably sick of me by now. And then also a more affordable alternative, put down the tissue, the Colourpop Super Shock Shadows. A lot of these remind me of the sparkly top coat vibe in that they are applied with a finger, they've got that moussey texture, you pop them on the center of the lid for that gorgeous shine and luminosity. They've got so many colors to pick from. Oh, I've been meaning to do a Colourpop order. Let me know in the comment section, what are your favorite Colourpop products? This product, Holy Grail for sure. The Makeup Geek Gel Liner in Immortal, you guys. It slips off my tongue so easily because I said it for so long and then one day it was discontinued. The reason that I love this liner, loved, past tense, is that it was so black and dense. And it was so creamy, you could really kind of get it onto the lash line and it wouldn't crumble or crisp up. And then ultimately, the reason why I preferred this liner over any other black liner in my collection was that the longevity off the charts. You could go for a swim. You could have a little bit of a tear up, and this product would remain lodged at the lash line. It was even sometimes a little bit difficult to remove, which I can imagine for some people would be annoying. But for me, I liked knowing that I could depend on this liner, and it was gone. But the product that replaced this liner for me, the Marc Jacobs Fineliner Ultra Skinny Gel Eye Crayon in Blacquer. So this is not a pot gel liner like Immortal, but it has such a fine tip, and I love this for really tight lining, getting underneath the lashes and filling in all those little bits of skin, which is primarily what I was using Immortal for, really tight lining. Is it as black? Probably not. Is it as long wearing? Definitely not. But it is a suitable compromise. Lips. Bite Beauty. I feel like Bite Beauty has actually a reputation. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like they have a reputation of releasing bomb lip products and then promptly discontinuing them. I feel like I've heard a lot of creators talk about that. And now it is my turn to add to the choir. The Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche liquefied lipsticks. So this is not a liquid lip, a matte liquid lip. It's just a very creamy lipstick that happens to be in a tube. It felt almost like a condensed lip balm that had opaque color. And to be honest, I never really found a perfect substitute for the Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche liquefied lipsticks. I just had to move on. It was very difficult for me, but I just had to move on. And primarily, I moved on to the Burberry Liquid Lip Velvets. These are also a lipstick in a tube format, but they're a little bit more of a matte texture, as the name would suggest. They're a velvet. I think that these replaced the Bite Beauty simply because they sat next to each other in the drawer. Look, I don't make the rules. It doesn't have to be rational. But let me tell you, the Burberry Liquid Lip Velvets they're an epic formula. I'm actually a little bit afraid that these will be discontinued because I don't hear very many people talk about it. But if ever I'm wearing a lip and I just want a little bit more, I'll grab any one of these colors and just add a little dab into the center. And the lip velvets are so vibrant. They've got this real punchy quality that I don't really see much in other lipsticks. And so I find myself reaching for these all the time. I love me a bit of Burberry, actually. I really like the Burberry aesthetic. It's like, oh, trench coat. Oh, grungy eye. Love that. This one stresses me out because I have not found a proper replacement for this brush. This is the Chanel 24. Let me tell you the story, you guys. Let me tell you the story of how I came to acquire this brush. So back before I really knew anything about makeup, I went to the Chanel counter and I wanted to buy, wait for it, I wanted to buy a crease brush. What are you going to do with this in your crease, Karima? I had no idea what I was doing, but I thought, yes, that would make for a brilliant crease brush. And I purchased it that day and realized that it wasn't a great crease brush, and it sort of just fell into the back of my drawer. Until years later, I had a bright idea, and I decided to use it for spot concealing. This brush is like no other. It's perfectly tapered into a fine point, but the bristles have a lot of give, so they allow you to sort of scribble, really soften out those edges. But if you can't get your hands on that one, which you can't, here are three that are sort of similar. They function in a similar way, and I would recommend these. The EcoTools Smudge Brush. This has a similar shape, it's just a little bit denser, but you can get a good scribble motion if you're concealing some blemishes with that one. This was a very strong contender. When I saw this online, I thought, oh, could it be? Could it be? It was not, but it was close. The Ray Morris 9.1. So soft bristles, a lot of give that come to a point and give you some option to blend concealer around a blemish. And then finally, the Visine Pro 26, which I purchased in Amsterdam years ago. This is also a detail brush that allows you to sort of buff and place concealer on blemishes. But they're no Chanel 24. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I really appreciate it. I know we're all busy and I'm just really grateful that you chose to spend it here with me. I would love to know in the comment section down below, what is a product, a discontinued favorite that really broke your heart? And were you able to find a perfect replacement? Let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Come say hello to me on Instagram at Karima McKimmie. I'd love to chat to you there. And I'll speak to you very soon. Bye.